ESPN Daily. Good morning! Yeah, regular drafts are cool, but have you ever seen a dog steal the show when its owner is selected in a virtual draft? 14 of 10 would pet. Here's your ESPN Daily. Okay, I guess that happened. Listen up. Fight Island is for real. I guess now would be a decent time for me to formally apologize to UFC President Dana White for all of the parallels I drew between his rumored Fight Island and Ja Rule's Fire Festival. As it turns out, Fight Island is the real deal. Ever since the concept was brought up as a creative live event solution during the global coronavirus panic, people, including myself, have had questions. Where is this mysterious island? How will the fights work? Where will the fighters stay? Is it going to be safe to host fights there? This week, White shed some light on the logistics and location. It's Yas Island in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Of the much talked about Fight Island, he also announced the details of UFC 251 and 3 UFC Fight Night events scheduled for July. On today's episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Ariel Helwani Ariel Helwani explains how it's going to work and why it's worth it. Plus, he'll discuss how UFC got back up and running so much faster than other sporting events, and what fighters will face with its return. Then, Ryan McGee talks about the significance of NASCAR's Confederate flag ban. Ugh. Things to care about. How boxing came back in a bubble. While we're on the subject of live sporting events being held in isolated/controlled environments amid the coronavirus panic, we should talk about how Top Rank Boxing made its triumphant return this week. Tonight's fight card headlined by Jesse Magdaleno versus Yenifil Vicente starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. The return of boxing to the United States took months of planning and lots of creativity. The study of more than 20 protocols, from sports leagues to movie studios to large corporations, led to the creation of a 20-page, 5-pronged plan, which Top Rank delivered to the Nevada State Athletic Commission to make Tuesday's fight card headlined by Shakur Stevenson versus Felix Caraballo happen in Las Vegas. The 5-pronged approach included establishing an internal task force, reviewing and identifying potential exposure risks, establishing a method of emergency communication, creating the safest possible environment to protect everyone, and executing the plan. This week has been all about the last item on the list, executing the plan. Reggie Bush's 10-year timeout is over. USC fans rejoice. Reggie Bush is back in the fold. After a 10-year disassociation from one of the greatest college football players of all time as part of a landmark NCAA punishment, USC has officially welcomed the Heisman Trophy winner back to Troy. Now, if the Heisman Trophy Trust would go ahead and return Bush's trophy, and the school would go ahead and retire his number 5 jersey, it would feel like a satisfactory ending to an unfortunate saga. Sending Bush away from the program resonated. He caused the program considerable harm, but USC's decision to send Bush's Heisman back to the Trust serves as one of the examples in which the university, in an attempt to scrub its reputation clean, accepted penalties and doubled down on them. This from a school that still displays the Heisman won by O.J. Simpson. Oh. That's not meant as shade, just an observation. Okay, fine, maybe a little shade. In 39 games over 3 seasons as a Trojan, Bush rushed for 3,169 yards and 25 touchdowns and added 1,301 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. Wow. He admittedly messed up in taking lavish gifts from 2 sports marketers, but what he accomplished on the field deserves recognition. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's it? Accepting gifts? Not actually, killing anybody? That's messed up. Remember the names. Who is Spencer Torkelson? He's a guy you're going to want to familiarize yourself with if you haven't already. The Detroit Tigers had the number 1 pick in the MLB draft and wisely grabbed the Arizona State slugger on Wednesday. Torkelson belted 54 home runs and 127 career games at ASU and was only 4 home runs shy of the Sun Devils' school record when the 2020 season was cut short. Well, that sucks. Next up in the draft were the Baltimore Orioles, who took another big college bat in Heston Kjerstad. While I could continue to regale you with tales of every selection from round 1, it's probably in both of our best interests if I instead direct you to our 2020 MLB Draft Tracker and experts' analysis of each pick. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that you can catch rounds 2 through 5 starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time tonight on ESPN2. Happy drafting to all. We scrolled Twitter so you don't have to. Bubba Wallace, the only full-time black driver in NASCAR, will run a special paint scheme to honor Black Lives Matter for Wednesday night's race at Martinsville Speedway. LeBron, Richard Sherman, and Jamal Adams took notice. Okay. Bubba Wallace's fight for racial equality extends beyond a Black Lives Matter paint scheme at Martinsville Speedway. Wallace, who drives the number 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports, has been vocal about the need for NASCAR to do away with Confederate flags at racetracks. Oh, come on, dude. It's not about that. It's about heritage. Not the heritage of owning slaves. The heritage of fighting in a war where the regular old everyday foot soldiers were just fighting for their homes, fighting to protect their families. On Wednesday, the organization heeded his words and put out the following statement. The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans. And it's about a rebel spirit. Nobody who flies the flag, 99% of the people that fly the flag, aren't having any thoughts about slavery. Nobody's saying, man, I miss those good old days when we could have slaves. No, it's about a rebel spirit and honoring your Southern ancestors who fought to protect their homes and stuff. Shh, it's okay. The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love for racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sports special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties. It will be prohibitado. Things to watch. La China? This is not political, this is human rights. Oh, it's so political. WNBA champion Natasha Cloud joined La China Robinson on Around the Rim to call upon her fellow athletes to be more vocal in the fight for racial equality. Cloud stressed the duty to use one's platform to be a voice for the voiceless. Why does that have to be a thing? Using your platform. You didn't get a platform with your opinions. You got a platform with your skills and your talents. So that's what you should be doing. And the importance of speaking up in the name of what is right. The Washington Mystics guard lauded her teammate Elena Dawn for her willingness to engage without fear of negative ramifications and encouraged others. It's so stupid when they do this. There are absolutely no negative ramifications right now. The negative ramifications come when you express any kind of more moderate opinion. If you disagree that there is systemic racism, that's where you get the negative ramifications. It's not brave. It is absolutely not brave to speak up and say exactly what the masses are saying and exactly what the masses are telling you to say. That's not brave. And encouraged others in and out of the sports world to do the same. Oh, you encourage that, but you're not encouraging people to speak their own opinions. You're encouraging people to speak the accepted opinion. Overheard. Two different styles of leadership. LeBron, very encouraging and bringing everybody along. Kobe, he testing you, seeing what you're going to give him. He going to yell at you, he going to scream at you, he going to cuss. Two different sides. I'm just blessed to see them both. Shh, shh, shh. Jordan Clarkson on the difference between playing with Kobe and LeBron. Okie dokie. Remember when? Today marks the Jordan year anniversary of Michael Jordan's legendary flu game. For the untrained eye, that means it has been 23 years since his airness played through sickness to lead the Bulls to a 90-88 win over the Jazz in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. While The Last Dance revealed that a suspect pizza was actually to blame for MJ's illness, the food poisoning game just doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Until next time, remember, I'm not really into astrology stuff. Narrator, she was, in fact, into astrology stuff. Okay. But it appears that a solid number of professional athletes hail from Gemini season, or more specifically, June 11th. Diana Taurasi, Joe Montana, Maya Moore, and Vince Lombardi all share this birthday. Coincidence? You tell me. This has been your ESPN Daily for Thursday, June 11th, 2020. Thank you, ESPN. You were actually a little bit more moderate with the politics today. I appreciate that.